I need to relax. Okay, today I am answering some of the questions you guys asked me on Instagram for a Q&A or like podcast type. I don't know. I don't know why I thought I could do this because I'm really bad at just rambling, sort of. Actually, I'm really good at rambling, but I guess I am good at rambling. I'm not good at talking and then it coming to a conclusive point. But it's okay. I'm going to be practicing. And also, this is the first video, or probably one of the first times you've seen me just alone and talking to the camera. I always have to have like my friends with me when it comes to either just going out in public or like recording or like going live, because I tend to get incredibly nervous. Yeah, I guess I'm just nervous. I get very nervous. I get anxious when I don't have like someone's hand to hold. So it's time to get over that. I'm 20 years old. I'm an adult and I'm about to move to a different country. So I should probably get that in check, right? So that's kind of like a exercise, kind of like I don't know. Yeah, like a social exercise where I'm literally alone though. I'm literally just talking to you guys, but literally talking to nobody. A lot of people ask me, like in the past, also on live, I've noticed like how I've come up with the name Bro Boss. And to be totally honest with you, there was no forethought with the name. It was it was the day of, I was like, okay, what do I name this account that I'm hiding from all my friends? I literally blocked all my friends on this account, and at the start. And then Mel found out and she was like, "Bro, what the heck?" Probably something like that. I don't know. That's just how I remember it when she gets mad at me. So then I think I had it as something else originally, but I wanted like a funnier name. And so I was like, what's funny? I think boss is just funny as a pronoun. Or is that a noun? As a noun? Boss is just a funny noun. It's such a funny noun. Why is it like it's always at the deli, or it's always at like whenever I get like shawarma. Like whenever I get shawarmas, they always call you boss there. And I don't know how to feel about it. I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it actually. It's like I'm not your boss. Like you're your own boss. Like stop. So, I don't know. I was like boss cuz boss. And bruh because I guess alliteration. And also bruh's just like bruh. I like that word a lot. But my mom hates it. She's always like, "You know who came up with that word? Kanye." Oh. It's okay though. I've kind of dissociated it from him, separated the word from the etymologist. Or is that the study of bugs? What is the study of words? Etymology. I knew something, dude. Okay. Happens quite often actually that I know things. Okay, anyways. So yeah, that's kind of I guess the number at the end, 16. That's also probably a significant part to explain why I chose that number. Is there's no reason. It's just 16. Yeah. So I mean that's the game behind the name. So I'm glad I could answer that burning question. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like freaking TikTok, it doesn't register with me. It doesn't make any sense. I post a video and then it's like, yeah, okay, maybe a million people are going to see this or whatever. Like maybe a million people are like, maybe half a million or like maybe 100,000 people are going to. What do you mean though? Like, what do you mean I just post a dumb video and then probably like a million people are going to like it or see it or comment on it? It's hard to process. Santoli Town asked, life story in 3 words or less. And I don't know. My life has been pretty short. I mean, not as short as someone born before me. I mean, after me. But probably pretty short, considering there's a lot of people in the world with longer lifespans. See, I don't know where I'm going. Someone's pogo sticking, I think, outside. My life story would probably be 1 word. Comedic. Just because of, I think the way I handle things in life makes my life as a whole kind of comedic, which I guess can be good but also bad. Comedic, probably like esoteric, probably. I don't know. Not to say I'm like niche, but like, I don't know. I think everyone's life is niche to them. If you really think about it deep down. It's a really profound thought, I know, but everyone's a little niche. And then next. Wait, what have I said? I said esoteric and I said comedic, yeah. Last word to describe my life. Like exhilarating or some shit. I like my life a lot. I'm very privileged to have grown up in such a nice area in California and also have experienced what it's like to live in other countries like Denmark, which is the only other country, but like just experience what it's like to live, especially across the globe, and also just be able to see so much at a young age, so much of the world. I'm just glad that I had the experiences to contribute to, I don't know, a broader worldview. My broader worldview. I'm very grateful that I'm able to have it. See, does that make sense? Did what I say just make any sense at all to you, though? Like, as a whole of what I just said, did you derive any sort of meaning or message that stuck with you from what I just said? Comment down below and let me know. Okay. Oh, actually, Santoli Town also asked, would I rather have a hook for a hand or peg for a foot? And I actually don't know the answer. My personal answer, I kind of just put it on there so I could make a pegging joke, but then I also didn't come up with a pegging joke. So I guess I'll just answer the question. Hook for hand or peg for foot? Probably a peg for a foot, because I use my hands for a lot of things like making music and drawing and posting TikToks. So I think I would like to have like, I guess a hook could be conductive, right? And like be able to use your phone, because that's probably the most important thing about my life is to be able to use my phone. I peg for foot, because you know what, I feel like I would be much more, I would need my finger dexterity for a number of things that I just described. Yeah. Also, it's like, wait, does Captain Hook have a hook and a peg, or am I crazy? I just don't want to be like Captain Hook. He's a weird guy. I don't want to be like him or compared to him, because I guess the second you have a feature that is similar to one other person, you get compared to that person every single day that you live, and every single second, every single time you go on your phone. Anyways, would I rather... Oh, this is a different person. But this actually kind of goes along with the theme that I was just talking about, Captain Hook. It's kind of fantastical, kind of mystical, kind of... Wait, what is that? Like fantasy? What even genre is that? What even genre? Wait, Peter Pan's kind of a niche genre, guys. No, isn't it's literally fantasy. Wingridden asked, would you rather be gnome, merman, vampire, wizard, or werewolf? It's not that hard to choose because only like some of these I have never even been. I've been a wizard, literally. I've literally been a vampire, literally. A gnome? I don't remember if I've been a gnome. I was almost a werewolf one time, but the moon, I don't know, I didn't see the moon that day. I think I would be a merman just because that's kind of epic. You can breathe underwater. I want to experience what it's like to be on a whole nother sort of plane. That is like another plane, right? You get three-dimensional movement. Isn't that insane? I guess we have three-dimensional movement, but like you can just like float around in the water. What the heck? Up is down, down is up. Who knows? But I'd be a merman because also they're beautiful. And also, yeah, I think that's just cool. What? But I don't like that there would be like a probably a really good chance I just get speared out of nowhere. I could just get speared while I'm just like trying to do my morning commute. What the heck? Imagine that. The looming fear of being speared. Not a good feeling, I hear. Okay. My heart goes out in solidarity to all the mermen that have to, all the mermen, all the mer people, happy pride, that have to experience the looming fear of being speared. Zon I 0x and Lesboitron, happy pride, asked, do you have a fave Pokemon? And I've been thinking about this for a while, actually. This past whole 2 minutes that I've been trying to say a full sentence, I've been thinking about it. I'd probably have to say Umbreon or some shit. But then whenever I say that, I feel weird because my friend made me feel weird for saying that one time. But I don't know, I like Umbreon. Umbreon's cool. And yeah. My favorite evolution probably. Vaporeon is also cool. I actually have a 1995 Vaporeon card. But I don't collect them like that. I just have that one for some reason. I actually think I found it on the ground in middle school, but I don't. And I was like, is this real? Is this real? I remember this actually. It was in art class, and then I drew Vaporeon. I need to find all my Pokemon drawings. I have a lot of old Pokemon drawings, actually, I'm realizing. I don't know how I never fell down the furry pipeline. Actually, that's a really good question. I never became a furry. Okay. Well, maybe in a next life. Lost opportunity. Man. It's never too late though, right? Okay. What are your guys' favorite Pokemon? Why is Umbreon a weird Pokemon to like? Umbreon is cool. and yeah. So like what about it? Is that weird? Eat I dale mons. That's how I'm going to pronounce that. Asked. A funny incident that happened really randomly in the past few weeks. I actually have one. Oh my gosh, I actually have one. A couple of days ago, this is madness. Okay, a couple of days ago, I decided I would go to the rock climbing gym with my friends that go to the rock climbing gym. They have yoga lessons there for some reason. And so half of my friend group was like, okay, we're going to go to the yoga lessons now because they started. And then like a couple of us still wanted to climb. So we climbed for a little bit and then we decided we can just pop in on the yoga lesson, right? Like that would be fine. Let's just go try and join. Our first freaking warning sign that we shouldn't have joined this yoga class is probably when we peek through the door and everyone's in the dark lying like on their back. Like it looked like it was nap time. It was nap time and we barged in on nap time pretty much. That should have been our first warning not to freaking continue. But well, it kind of was. Mel like closed the door, but then the freaking yoga instructor was like, "No, come in, come in." I feel so bad. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not our fault. Okay, we get in there. We like scuffle in on our socks, and I it was like quick because this instructor was like coaxing us in, like, come in, come in, come in. We weren't going to go in. I forgot to leave my phone in the room, like the first room. Dude, I feel so bad. I forgot to leave my phone in the room because we were coaxed in by the freaking yoga instructor wanting us to join nap time. So I had my phone in my pocket. The second I got all the mats and stuff, she was like whispering to us, get this, get the block, get the mats, get the ball. Okay, so I finally find a spot where I can actually put my mat down. And then I feel bad for like freaking running around the whole freaking yoga studio while everyone's napping. Trying to find a spot. I lay my mat down. I lie down. Oh shit, I forgot. My phone is still on me. Okay, let me put it on silent really quick. I put on Do Not Disturb. Do Not Disturb. So I don't expect to be disturbed, right? I lay down on the mat. The yoga instructor comes over, hands me a ball. I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this? And I just have a ball now. And I'm like literally passing it around in my hands like I don't know what to do with this thing. She describes to like tells us to do the next pose or whatever. Okay. And then like I don't know. Apparently the ball was supposed to be like under me or something at this point. Like I was supposed to have it under my back. How could I see that everyone doing nap time had a ball poking them in their spine? I don't know that I'm supposed to have a ball under my spine right now. Okay, I figure it out. We do the poses. We do the next poses where we have to put the ball in a specific area. And then something goes off in my pocket. Ding-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. Ding-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. The freaking critical alert from my phone. The only time that my phone bypasses Do Not Disturb, it's the critical alert from my house. Because I have this freaking, my dad like installed so much stuff in our house, so it just like goes off whenever like the doors open and no one's home, or like it never happens. I never get this alert. Critical alert. It goes off in the middle of nap time during yoga. I'm like, no way this happened. And then I'm like, okay, it won't go off again, right? Surely, Temple. Surely it won't. Dude, I need a Shirley Temple right now. Okay. So we do the next pose. We're like moving the ball around, and apparently I didn't have like the ball in the right place. I don't know how, like I don't know when this lady did this, but it's crazy. Like she called over the instructor. My friend heard this, by the way. I didn't even hear it. I knew she was calling over the instructor constantly to like help her adjust the ball or whatever. God. She calls over the instructor and she's like, he doesn't have it right. He doesn't have the ball under him right. So, okay. I guess I can't do that right either. So I had the ball under me wrong, and a freaking lady had to tell... What? Okay, whenever would you ever call over the yoga instructor and be like, they're not doing the pose right? That's so mean. This middle-aged woman. I feel like I don't really... Like, I don't know if I can blame her or not, though, because my phone kept going off, though. So, like, maybe she was kind of pissed at me. Actually, no, my phone only went off once at this point in the story. Sorry, this is a really long story. It doesn't need to be this long, but I have you guys here, so... Yeah. So she pointed out to the yoga instructor, he doesn't have it right under him. And then she's like, he's fine. Next, we continue. I was never bothered. I never heard this. I can't believe, like, my friend heard this, but whatever. We continue. Next pose is we're doing the shit with the ball still. I think. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. My my phone goes off again. Ding 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 ding. I don't know what the freaking alert. I wonder if I still have it. I don't know what it was. What was wrong with my house, but it just kept going off. And at this point, I'm like, no freaking way. I should have done it from the start, but I powered off my phone. And yeah, that was that. We left, and then my friend told me that she heard that lady say to the yoga instructor I had the ball under me wrong. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And then I see that lady walk out of the yoga place. What is it? Studio. She walks out and she like looks at me. Dude, I think she might be my mortal enemy actually. I think that yoga lady hates me so much. I feel really bad for bringing my phone in there though, and also being late and scuffling around on the freaking floor and being obnoxious. Yeah, not my proudest moment, but to be fair, all my friends thought that my phone going off was actually the instructor's like timer. So that made me feel a little bit better about the whole ordeal. Also, I keep looking over here. It's just the questions, but I don't know. Should I be looking at, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's over. So that's actually something funny that happened to me this week, which is crazy. I feel like stuff never really happens to me because I don't really go outside. What's the next one? Oh, what is your funniest inside joke? So it kind of is our inside joke, but it kind of hasn't been implemented. We are planning to use it, but it's kind of scary. So my parents, they love each other very, very much. And of course, it's because they're perfect for each other. I love my parents, okay? It's just they still call themselves mommy and daddy. And I'm 20 years old at this point. I don't need them to be calling each other mommy and daddy in front of me because I know who they are. So it's kind of just them now. It's kind of just them calling each other mommy and daddy, and I'm just there. Like, how I described it to Mel is like, we'll be at a restaurant or some shit. Like we'll be at a restaurant. And like I'll order and then my mom will order and then she'll be like, and what are you, and for daddy? And daddy? While the waiter's like taking our order, she'll be like, okay, and daddy? It's not helping. My parents acting like that when I'm with them is not helping my case of me still looking like I'm 12. I'm 20 years old. Why are you doing that? To be fair, it is mostly my mom, but my dad does say mommy too. To my mom. So, yeah. Basically, the inside joke. Yes, wait, it's actually coming to a point. Wow. The inside joke is that me and Mel want to start saying like at dinner or like when we're eating out or like when someone needs to order to be like, and for you, daddy? Every time. So we're trying to do it, but it's kind of like, I don't want to freak people out. Like, I don't want to make them feel like how I feel when my parents are doing that. But it would be so funny though. It would be so funny though. And for you, daddy? I really want to do that. Oh my god. It's just so, like, I get it. I'm so grateful that my parents love each other. I just wish they wouldn't love each other so much in front of me. But it's not even that. It's also just like ingrained in their language when they're talking to me. Like my dad will be like, "Oh yeah, mommy had to go do this." I know. And then my mom will like do the same. Like, "Okay, yeah, daddy had to go to Home Depot." Cuz that's actually where he like goes. So yeah. hopefully I get to use this inside joke soon, and maybe I'll catch it on camera for you guys so you guys can see when I use it. Okay. That's probably my funniest inside joke that isn't an inside joke yet, but needs to be. You guys should implement that inside joke in your daily life, actually. Yeah, just be like, and for you, daddy, anytime someone's next. We could even do it when we're opening doors for each other. There you go, daddy. Open up the door. That actually sounds fantastic. All right. Frank Ocean 1 over 911 asked. That wasn't just a statement. That was actually someone's username. They asked, did you have any character development stages? And if so, what? I should have a better answer. I feel like I wrote some points on here because that's a very, I'm actually struggling on how to answer this. Did you have any character development stages? And if so, what? This is such a loaded question that I'm having I'm having trouble answering it. I feel like, okay, well, obviously there's middle school, and that's pivotal in and of itself, but middle school I was just crazy. So I don't really know what I learned from middle school. I probably learned how to be myself because that's what I was already doing every single day. If I was bullied in middle school, I probably have no clue because I was just in my own world the whole time. I remember having a slime business. That's some character development right there. I learned how to have a business is very important. Into high school, like, I don't know. I don't remember like a lot. I just remember freshman year, and then I remember it ending and then going into like lockdown. And I didn't have much of it. Actually, I had a good lockdown, which is crazy to say this cuz it kind of like, actually I didn't. Better than a lot of people that I know. It made me kind of realize what things were important to me when it came to my hobbies and stuff, because it gave me the time to work on them and also just be like there was nothing else I could do. So if there was no lockdown, I would not have the sort of drive or skill when it comes to my hobbies, like music and art and drawing and stuff and story writing. I don't think I would have the same drive for that, because it really kind of just forced me to incubate those skills and like get better because there's nothing else to do. And then out of high school, the biggest thing I started realizing is that nobody gives a F. Dude, like, I had a gap year out of high school. I graduated 2023. I graduated in 2023 and I had a gap year. I went to Denmark for that year and studied film. It was like half a year, kind of. I went to Denmark and studied film for a little bit because that's what I did like all throughout high school. Dude, that school just kind of made me realize how little people give a shit. Just do whatever you want. Just be yourself. Do whatever the heck you want. Just because everyone was cherished for their differences at the school. It's called højskole. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's not high school. It's a Danish thing. It's like you go after, a lot of people are doing it in between like getting their masters. They do it getting out of gymnasium, which is like high school for them. But it's like an elective school that you can do just to figure out what you want to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it's basically that. And there it's a lot about like your self development and I don't know, figuring out what path you want to take in life, and also meeting people out of school, like, because it's kind of hard to do that. So it was a huge learning experience for me. I would totally recommend it for any like Danish people who are watching. Freaking go to high school. It's freaking worth it. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's almost like the bonds you make are similar to those that you would make in high school. Like, you'd like in spending 4 years with someone in high school, it's a similar bond to the type of bond you make spending 4 months with somebody in high school in Denmark. It's just very, because you're living together and you're going through a lot of emotions together and you're doing a lot of partying together, and so there's a lot of like, there's just a lot of hormones, and it's a lot of, yeah. I got a tinge of like embarrassment as I just recalled what I'm about to tell you. A freaking, my stomach dropped, my heart dropped. That's what it's called. That's what happened. Okay. So someone actually did ask, Starvery, Strrvr, Starvery, Strawberry, asked, "What's your most embarrassing story from high school or middle school?" Lore in parentheses. Okay. This is this is definitely my most embarrassing high school story by far, and it all centers around the supervillain of our school. Of our grade at least. Not naming names. They know who they are. Because this is madness. This is actually insane. And like, I still am like, dude, I'm still blushing, like, thinking about how this happened. Okay. Like, in a bad way. Blushing in a bad way. Okay. Okay. So, there's a high school party. Bleh. There's a high school party. This is how it starts. There's a high school party in my neighborhood, and it's being hosted by the supervillain. We'll just say supervillain. It's being hosted by a supervillain, and we go to supervillain's high school party. Sorry, this is really difficult. So, I go to supervillain's party, and my parents know that I'm going to supervillain's party. We pull up. We go in. We've been there for a little bit. I am at the party. I go up. This house is like... Okay, we're in the backyard. I don't need to explain everything. We're in the backyard. Pretty much, my parents know supervillain's parents. Just because, like, we went to the same elementary school and everything. And they're friends. I'm relaxed. I've taken up the relaxed position just so I can tell this. Supervillain, there's 100 people in this backyard. Supervillain turns off the music and is like, "Has anyone seen Bruboss? Where's Bruboss?" Me, but like, I obviously saying my name. "Where's Bruboss?" To like these 100 people in the silence of the backyard. I'm sitting on the pergola with Mel once again. I raise my hand up on this pergola, like above everybody. This is crazy that I'm now describing this. It sounds like a movie. Okay, I'm like, "I'm here. Your parents are looking for you," says supervillain, with a cocky grin on supervillain's face. "Your parents are looking for you." To 100 people in the backyard where I'm sitting atop a pergola raising my hand. "Hey, look at me. My parents are looking for me at this party." That's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in high school. Ever. And I don't know why supervillain... Well, I do know why. It's in the name. This person was evil. I don't know how else. Like, there's so much other stuff with this person. It's insane. So yeah, that happened. I blocked out like the whole last part though. Like, I think people laughed or something, and then like the music turned back on, and I walked down from the pergola. I go inside. And yeah, like my parents are outside in their car. But the whole thing is I tell them that happened and they're like, we just asked Supervillain's dad to ask Supervillain to tell me. Not like, or like ask Supervillain's dad to find me. And so then Supervillain's dad told Supervillain, and then I don't want to expose anything. And then they turned off the music and just announced it like that. So for the most part, I've tried to stay out of drama, but for some reason, Supervillain just had to do that to me because I don't know. Yeah, that just happened. Oh my god. That's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I don't think there's anything worse than that. I don't. Actually, in middle school, I was in a production of Annie or something, and I think I accidentally flashed my underwear to a full auditorium because some parent told the director and told me. So that's actually pretty bad too. That's actually pretty bad too. I don't know how that happened, okay? I don't know how that happened. So yeah, there's some of the lore of that. Thanks for asking that. I think it's good that I get that off my chest though, because why did I have to endure that? Okay, I need some, but it goes back to the character development. I think that whole experience also just made me realize, the party experience. That whole experience just made me realize, how much people actually don't gaff. Because I didn't hear anything about it from other people after that. They forgot all about that shit. So, cool. Nobody thinks about you as much as you think about yourself, pretty much, is what I took away from that, which is nice. Now I'm going to college for engineering, and I like to do music and draw on the side and stuff, and make comics and write stories. Do you have any tips for an aspiring musician? Cherry asks. I would say you don't have to be super good at one instrument, or you don't have to be super good at one instrument or even multiple. I don't know how the heck to play a piano. I don't even know the notes on that thing. But I pretty much just slam down the keys that sound good. I would say use your intuition and don't follow the book. Obviously, if you want to learn softwares like GarageBand or Logic, I use GarageBand because it's easy. If you want to learn that stuff, you can look up tutorials, but never feel like you need to follow rules when it comes to music. I was looking up how to master a track, and this guy was showing me how to do it, but I didn't like how it was turning out, and I was following exactly what he was saying to do. And it's just know when to use your intuition rather than go by the book. When it comes to music, I would say figure out your sound, figure out your influences, make a playlist. I made an inspiration playlist that as all I listened to while I was in the heart of making my album. If you guys didn't know I make music, I actually do make music. Sleepish on all streaming platforms. So yeah. New musician, use your intuition, and never feel exerted. I would say never feel like you're trying too hard to create a certain sound, because it should feel natural when you're making art. You should never have to force yourself to come across a certain way. Just make your own sound, pretty much. Do whatever sounds natural. And yeah, that I think is going to put you far. I'm not a master, dude. I that's the more creative. Those are the more creative lessons I've taken out of creating an album. Yeah. Okay. And then there's more questions like I love Potatoes 15 and Elijah both asked how long does it take for me to make a song? It really depends on the song, like a couple days, I would say, for every song. But that's my songs are pretty short and like very natural, I would say. Not much like heavy production goes into it. So that's probably why. It definitely depends on your style. I think the longest part though, the part that takes the longest is just like coming up with a solid melody or just sometimes it just comes to me like summer 22 that just like I woke up and I was like and it was like in my head like this thing and then there's drums like right after this part. It's really weird. If you listen to a lot of music you might know what I mean. Like it kind of just is like you're remembering a song you know, but I don't know. It's like you wake up with a song in your head but it's not one you've already heard. Pretty much that happens. And listen to that. Try and express it. You should ride that wave if it ever comes. If you like are humming something, you're like it doesn't you don't know if it pertains to anything, just make it into a song. Blanket Brains asked, do you produce your own stuff? And if so, how did you get into it? Thanks. Yes, I do produce my own stuff, and I got into it through. Oh, I actually yes, I've been discussing this with my parents actually. I started composing stuff on My Singing Monsters composing like composer. Like I had the regular My Singing Monsters and then I got the composer app and I would just recreate songs I like in there. This was my freaking jam literally. Oh, it's on composer. This is Can't Handle Change by Roar. Why is that kind of fire? Yeah. I know this one. Okay, so yeah, I would do that, and then I started. I went to like guitar lessons in fourth grade, but I didn't. All I learned was how to read the shit. I still don't know like any bar chords. I just know like the basic ones, and I know how to use a capo. So that's what I do to make my music, is I fiddle around and I mess around and I fiddle around, and then I record it on GarageBand. And this is the microphone I use. This is the microphone I use. It's an AKG 120, and I use a Focusrite Scarlett audio interface that I got with my job working at the boba shop. We won't talk about the boba shop, bro. And yeah, I use GarageBand, and now I have Logic, so I actually want to get into using that. Oh, and that goes into Heart My Youth's question. What's the whole process of creating music/recording? And yeah, that was kind of that. I kind of fiddle around and mess around on my guitar. That's the guitar that I've had since fourth grade. And then I also thrifted this thing. It's like a literal 1975 Rhythmic 2 portable keyboard, and it makes all the awesome sounds. I also like using the ones in GarageBand, but this is just more authentic. I don't know. Dude, I scratched my nose once. Are you freaking joking me? Now it's so itchy. Jeepers creepers, bo beepers. So, yeah. That's my process. I hope I went over it like a normal amount. There's another question on here. This is a really, really interesting question. In another universe, what will you be? I will probably not be the same. I can definitely say that. I will probably want... I will. I don't know. I will probably be a magical being of some kind. Probably be an ethereal being. I don't know, can like do spells or something. I think that's me in another universe. Do spells or something. I would, yeah. Okay. I think that's the last question. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Um, if you want me to do these types of videos, let me know. I'll do another question thing on my Instagram. My socials are down below. If you want to listen to my music, it's Sleepish on all streaming platforms. And the merch is in the works. I need to do the campaign photo shoot, but we have all the samples. And I'm going to take pictures, and I'm going to release that ish as soon as it is ready. So yeah, thank you for tuning in.